Hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. There's an album by Prince. It's called Old Friends for Sale. And it's actually an album called The Vault. Old Friends for Sale. It is one of my favorite albums of his. And not the only one, but it's one of my favorite ones. And it's considered and or classified like a B grade, so to speak, B side rather, type of album. These are cuts and or tracks from his vault that he did not release on his mainstream albums or whatnot, but I still love it. Now, the reason why I love that album, I really like that album, is because it's hit after hit after hit. Each song on that album is a unique song, unique track. I love it. I like it a lot. Old Friends for Sale. One of the lines in the song goes, "The sun settled my heart this evening, because an old friend of mine got lost in the jive," or in the jazz. The jive or the jazz, I can't recall which word it was, but nonetheless, it had me thinking about my so-called friends. Like, I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. And anybody that I considered and or thought was a friend, I do not think of them as a friend anymore, because they were never a friend. They were never truly my friend. They were pretending to be my friend because of what they thought or believed that they were going to gain off of being my friend, off of being attached to me. And these were individuals that sullied my character. They intentionally wanted to sully my character in the eyes of others so that they themselves could be seen as better than me. That's not a friend. That's an enemy undercover. And their goal did not pan out the way that they expected it to. One of these so-called friends is, I believe, a homosexual. I don't believe that they're heterosexual, and I do not believe that they're bisexual. I believe that they're homosexual. But they live their life as if they were heterosexual, as if they were better than homosexuals. You see, they decided to make a choice or a decision. Oh, I know that if I say that I'm heterosexual, this is their thinking. If I say that I'm heterosexual, but I'm really homosexual, and I go and get married, and I have children, have a family, I'm seen in the eyes of the world as being better than being homosexual, and I get the benefits of being heterosexual, having children, connecting to different societies, networks, groups, and so on and so forth, because I'm seen as one of the good ones, versus the homosexuals, which are seen as being bad or negative or evil or wicked. And even though they knew that they were homosexual, they chose to basically be a bully to me, because at that time I did identify, even though I didn't necessarily agree with it, I identified as being homosexual. because I did not even know what it meant to be bi-gender. I did not know what it meant to be bi-gender at that age. So sadly, for that individual, that so-called old friend, he can no longer lie to himself, and he can no longer lie to others about who he actually is. This is someone that went out into the world, portrayed himself to be something that he was not, and had homosexual relationships behind the scenes and on the side of his marriage. Still believing and thinking that he was better than those that live their lives out loud and live in their truth. As for our so-called friendship, I deleted that a long time ago. But this is someone that wants to be back in my energy so bad. This person, along with other individuals, they want to be back in the energy of the same people that they tried to destroy. If anybody friends and or befriends this person that I'm talking about right now, they would be a fool to do so. Just because a snake sheds its skin does not mean that it is not a snake. Does not mean that it will not bite you. So this is someone that I would call a snake. Meaning that even if he were to come out as homosexual and live in his authenticity or live in his truth, he would still be someone that would bite you in the ass. He would still be someone that would set you up for an attack. He would still be someone that would give you an STD or an STI and not regret doing it. That's the type of person I'm referring to. That's an old friend that I would not even sell to another person. That is a Judas. That is an evil, wicked individual that should spend the rest of his days alone. Because to be with someone like that is to be their punching bag. For abuse. That's the type of friend that would chew you up, spit you out, come back and chew you up again, and then feed you to the fucking sharks. You don't want that type of person in your life. But God had that person to be in my life for a short period of time. God allowed him to see and feel what it was like to actually have a friend. because he was never going to experience that ever again.